Just have one and only one high impact, clear use case. So think about what is your biggest roadblock. Think about what do you need the most and just have one use case. If you're a small business, just start with one with your limited resource and with your limited energy. Have that plan, make an estimate, build a future for yourself. Like, what does success look like for me? And how much the success will cost me today to get there? So answer these two questions and then build a roadmap for yourself and just work on this one use case. Things may or may not work like perfectly in the beginning. That's totally normal. Just keep improving on it, keep working on it until you see, okay, this is bringing me more customers. Oh, this is bringing me more revenue. So always have that goal. Don't just say, oh, I want to use AI because everybody else is using AI. You should always say, I want to use AI because I want to grow my customer base by 30% and I want to make $20,000 more tomorrow.
Mike's got the hat, the AI kind. Unlocking power in business you'll find. Cut through the hype, explore the tech. Every week, new ideas to check. All 10 leads us on a digital quest. AI secrets he'll always invest. Tune in tight, don't miss a beat. Knowledge groove, keep you on your feet. Listen up to the AI flow. Business growth, here we go. Cutting edge insights, that's the plan. With the AI hat, you'll understand.
Greetings, program. Welcome back to the AI Hat podcast, where I selfishly use this time to pick the brains of experts at harnessing the power of AI across all areas of business, from streamlining operations and boosting productivity to gaining a competitive edge and driving explosive growth. Oh, and you get to learn too. Subscribe to be shown how to prepare yourself and your brand for this AI revolution and come out ahead. Now, do you feel like maybe you're throwing money at AI without seeing real returns? If so, you're not alone. Businesses everywhere are sometimes struggling to turn their AI investments into actual revenue. But what if I told you that AI agents could become your most profitable team members? The challenge isn't just implementing AI, it's making it pay for itself. Many business leaders are investing in AI agents without a clear path to ROI, leading to frustrated teams and disappointed stakeholders. The reality is, most companies are leaving money on the table because they don't understand how to properly monetize their AI implementations. And that's why I'm thrilled to welcome Eva Dong, lead of AI monetization at Google Cloud, back to the show. Eva brings over a decade of transformative leadership experience from McKinsey Co and Visa, where she's helped countless businesses turn AI investments into profit centers. As a former entrepreneur who built a successful direct-to-consumer marketing startup, Eva knows firsthand what it takes to make AI work for your bottom line. Today, she's at the forefront of Google Cloud's AI monetization strategy, helping businesses of all sizes transform their AI agents from cost centers into revenue generators. Hey, Eva, welcome back to the show.
Hi, Mike. Really glad to be back.
My pleasure. I'm so excited to see you and chat with you today. So I'd love if you could just start by telling us about your new role, because when we first chatted, you were with McKinsey Co. Now you're with Google Cloud. That's so exciting. Talk to us about how Google Cloud is supporting and how this work that you're doing relates to AIs for businesses.
Yeah, for sure. So I am part of Google Cloud, and under Google Cloud, there is Google Cloud Consulting. And within that, there's a professional service organization called Delta. So that's where I belong. And then my role specifically is on AI monetization. So that's basically to help my Google Cloud clients to answer, what does success look like for you? How much revenue? How much profit? And in order to get to success, how much will it cost you? So this way, it builds my client a very clear picture. Okay, this is how much it takes to get there, and this is how your future should look like when everything works together. So I think my new is new, like relatively new in the organization. I think there's several reasons behind it. If we look a little bit back on the last few years, you can see 2023 really bring Gen AI to the public eyes and then more broadly to the enterprise world. And then 2024, all the companies are doing proof of concept, doing scaling, doing testing, and then scale Gen AI to their business, to their clients, to their customers. And then 2025 is really about, okay, I did all of that. I tested, I implemented. What does it mean for me? What does it mean for my revenue, my profit, my stakeholders? So I think that's top of mind for everybody. And that's also brings my role, which I'm doing right now.
Fantastic. That is super exciting. I'm really thrilled for you. Can't wait to see what else you do in that role. Now, today, I want your help to let me mostly, and also those listening, understand better how AI agents can help us in our roles. So, but before we dive into that, I wonder if you can break down exactly what an AI agent is and how it differs from some of the basic AI tools that many businesses are already using today.
Yeah, yeah. If I have to summarize the answer in one word, I'll say action. So I think AI agents have lots of different definitions, and specifically has a different definition in the industry versus academia. But I think the core of AI agent we can all align on is that it is machine that can reason and can take action autonomously. But thinking about all the previous version of AI, just AI in general, we also have like OpenAI O1 model that can reason. We also have like Gemini, like 1.5 Pro that can reason, but they can't really take action. So I think the key difference between AI agent and just AI in general is AI agent can take action. And then maybe to break it down a little bit more and put it more into life, I think there's three categories of AI agent. There's personal agent, persona agent, and organization agent. So I think personal agent is like the easiest to understand. So that is like the OpenAI operator, which just got released several weeks ago. So basically, let's say the AI can book restaurant for you, buy a flower for you, book a vacation for you once you guys align on a vacation plan. And the second one is persona-based agent, which I think Google Cloud is very anchored on. So this is more in like a B2B context. So we have all kinds of Vertex AI agent builder, and we categorize it in many subcategories. There's like customer agent AI to talk to your customers. You can have employee agent AI to provide efficiency for employees, to summarize email for you, to summarize meetings for you, write emails for you, that kind of stuff. There's creative AI agent to do all kinds of messaging, imaging, creative for you. There's data AI. There's coding AI to replace some of the junior software engineers. And there's security AI to take care of the basic security needs that you need for your network. So that is what Google is focused on. And lastly, organization agent. I don't think we're fully there, but I think the vision everybody's talking about is that in the future, maybe there's a startup that is just an AI agent. There's no human. There's no human involved, and it doesn't work itself.
Got it. Got it. Now, like I said at the outset, this is not something we've talked about much on the show. I have heard of Vortex. I have not used it. And I know many of the folks listening have probably never heard of it before. So if you could talk to me a little bit more about how that suite of products relates to everything else, because I'm using Gemini every day. I use Deep Research. I use Notebook LM, for instance. I don't see those tools in relationship to Vortex because that's a different place, a different URL, it lives someplace else within the Google ecosystem. And so if I love if you could explain that relationship, if there is one, and perhaps pick one of those agents and share a little bit more about exactly how they work.
Yeah, for sure. So I think for just like a general public perspective, so you have ChatGPT, you have Gemini, that is more like a B2C app. So that is for you to use for your personal use, for your personal and professional use. It's a chat based. You ask a question, it can answer for you. So that is one type of application. And then you have more like the business type of or enterprise application. So what Google does is like we want to play like enabler role in the market for AI. So Vertex AI is, you can see, is a suite of enablers to help you build your own AI agent. So for example, maybe you have an e-commerce website and then you want a shopper agent on your website. So maybe the customer is like, oh my God, what's the difference between this pants and this pants? And maybe one is waterproof, one is water repellent. And then your AI agent can help explain that technical details for your customers. So for example, that is an AI agent. And usually that kind of enterprise grade level of AI agent is built by Vertex AI and the equivalent of others on the market. But for day-to-day consumer use, so we use ChatGPT, we use Gemini. That's a user, like a B2C interface application.
Got it. Got it. And I love Gemini. I'm using it every single day. Is it Vertex or Vortex? Vertex?
Vertex, like VER.
Vertex.
Yes, yeah.
Got it. Okay, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes. Is how does the access and the pricing work? You don't have to go into big, super details, but is there like small business, medium business level pricing, or is this pretty much an enterprise grade product across the board?
Yeah, I'm sure there's like pricing for all different kinds. And I think there's a small free version too. I will also give you the link there. I think there's something called AI Studio that we just provide to
Yeah.
developers. It does involve certain kind of coding skills. I think there's a no code version, but of course, the better coding, the better AI agent you will build. I'll send you a link on that. I'm not super sure about the pricing, but I'm pretty sure there's a free version for developers.
Awesome, awesome. And I know we just started at this role, so I don't expect you to know all the ins and outs of the organization, but why do you feel like AI monetization is so important right now? And how does it work within Google Cloud? Are these all Google Cloud services? How does this all work?
Yeah, yeah. So just as I explained in the very beginning, I think 2025 is the year after all the excitement, the hype ChatGPT bring to the world, after all the like the proof of concept and the testing the enterprise has been doing last year, this year, like everybody want to see an impact on the bottom line because people and companies probably have invested money in bringing the proof of concept, buying all kinds of like license of using all kinds of models, and people are really wondering like, okay, I invested X million dollar of this, where do I get, what do I get? So I think this is the year, and this is why like AI monetization is on top of mind. And how this work in my day-to-day or at Google Cloud is like we really try to make it like a win-win situation. We want to make sure like our Google Cloud customers can see impact before they do anything in order for them to make strategic decisions. So let's say you're already Google Cloud customer, you host your data, the data is stored on Google Cloud, you maybe use like some local dashboard to see, okay, like how much is my sales, how much is my orders. And then you maybe want to, okay, maybe do I want to have an AI agent on my website? If so, how much impact will it give me? How much money will it cost me? So that's more like my job to provide that kind of information. So we really want customers to have that information before they make decisions so they can really make like strategic and end-to-end decisions. And also, hopefully, the goal is that during the implementation or after the implementation, the customer will be able to track that impact. To say, oh, I expect this model or this AI agent to bring me $10 million in the next 5 years. Is it actually doing so? Or if it is actually going beyond my expectation, why is it? If it's under my expectation, then why is it? And what else can I do?
That makes a lot of sense. I was just reading an article that talked about Google Cloud CEO Thomas Kurian last year, who said that the company is increasingly monetizing AI based on consumption models, volumes of data, and selling agents to line of business executives over IT, which is a shift, I think, from how people have been looking at AI over the past year or two, because we've been thinking about it from a subscription basis, like the ChatGPT and the Gemini and so on, where we pay $20 a month, maybe $200 a month, depending on the model. And that's it. Whereas now we have to move towards, I think, a different model because it's based now on these agents that are doing things autonomously, as you said earlier, on behalf of the organization, and paying $20 a month or even a couple $100 a month just doesn't seem to make sense when they could be going out and doing all kinds of research, interacting 24/7 with customers, doing all kinds of things on our behalf. Am I restating that correctly?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm happy to give some examples if like bringing like more to life.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So there's several clients, even though I'm new to Google Cloud, there's several clients like we always talk about, our like stellar clients. So one is Mark and Spencer, which is a grocery chain in the UK, very famous. So like there's Whole Foods. And then we did something with their contact center AI. So we installed this contact center AI agent in the call and the messaging system. So that reduced your like call volume by 50%, which means 7 million calls through agent. So that immediately means so much cost saving for your human agent and so much better quality and so much consistency. And then because of that, it also brings you a lot of like opportunities to bring in new customers, to retain your existing customers, and then which bring a lot of impact. And another example I can give is from the US, Wendy's. So I would have probably all go through this, like you drive through a fast service restaurant and you peek out of the window really, really hard with your body and you try to order this hamburger and then you try to order this cheeseburger and then keep saying back hamburger. He's like, no, I want cheeseburger. I want more like French fries with like 3 ketchup, please. And then keep giving you 5 ketchup. So like the whole season will probably go through that. So we collaborated with Wendy's and installed this thing called Fresh AI, which is the Wendy's version of food AI, to have an agent do the order taking at the drive-through. Then obviously save a lot of trouble from the human staff. At the same time, improve the accuracy just so much because drive-through, the biggest thing is like just the mistakes. I said something, they heard something, that the kitchen did something, blah, blah, blah. Everything went wrong. So everything is super like accurate and very smooth. And that was like a really good experience. But I think there's like one more client. I think that really make Google shine because in this AI world, there's so much competition. Like besides Google, all the other tech companies and like companies like OpenAI and Anthropic is trying to take a pie. But there's like one client I think Google really, really shine by bringing our whole ecosystem to it. So that one is with Alaska Airline. So this one, I think is really relatable to myself. A lot of times when you think about vacation planning, the biggest or the most time consuming part is like, think about where to go. We're probably all like, have you had this kind of experience just like, what, is it Cancun again? It's long. Like, or is it Alaska? So a lot of time we're just thinking like where to go. So we together with Alaska Airline built something called Trip Aspiration. So this one you can go to alaska.com and today just try it out. It's Trip Aspiration. And then you just type in, let's say, oh, I'm a couple of 2, we're newlywed and we want to do something really active in July, but I don't want it to be super hot. And then can like give you recommendations on like the locations. And then, so this one is combine our Google BigQuery, which is our data processing and data storage service. Vertex AI is our AI service. And it give you also have Google Flight, which are our flight and dynamic pricing service. So it shows you, oh, these are the possible locations. And this is how much it costs to have a round trip from your city to this destination and back. And you can click on the maps to see like, how does this city look like? Okay, maybe a recommend, you can go to Mexico City. Like click on Mexico City and give me like a drone picture of Google Map to see, oh, this is how Mexico City look like. So really bring like the whole suite of Google together. I think this is where our value proposition compared to our competitors.
I couldn't agree more. This is, in fact, something I talk about a lot when I'm helping my clients and my audience understand the difference between different large language models, just pure ChatGPT versus Gemini. It's that access and embeddedness within the entire Google ecosystem that I can call up maps. It can use YouTube. I asked it to create a playlist for me once. I was just expecting a list of songs. It generated an entire YouTube playlist for me automatically. And I hadn't asked it to that. And I love this example from Alaska Airlines because I did something similar with my kids over the holidays. We drove from St. Louis, Missouri to Southern California. It's like a 25-ish hour drive, depending on what route you take. And when you do that from here, you can drive through Colorado and Utah, or you can drive through New Mexico and Arizona. It's about the same amount of time either way. And I told my kids, use AI, just have a simple conversation. Say, hey, I'm going on a road trip from here to here. What are some great places that I could stop along the way? And I allowed them to give me, as the driver, suggestions, and everybody got to vote on what they wanted to see. So like we stopped at Zion, we stopped at Vegas, we stopped at the Grand Canyon, in the Petrified Forest, which is not
Wow.
a stop I would have made because I'd never heard of it before. It's just down the road from the Grand Canyon. So those are the kinds of things that I love that AI is just so good at. It knows so much more about all these different things. It can really shine. And I love those early examples where you're obviously saving employees time, saving frustration for customers. What about revenue? Have you seen some really interesting use cases of AI agents where revenue is what's being driven and impacted so positively?
Yeah, for sure. So this one is not really a public case, but Google Cloud is very focused on one of the industries, which is healthcare. So we have many healthcare clients, and healthcare as an industry, especially for those living in the US and listening from the US, we all know the healthcare system is not great here. We have many basic problems. Like, for example, there was one day I took some ultrasound and I want to send it from one hospital to the other hospital, and they keep asking me to like ship it in the CD. I'm just, oh my God, like, don't you have
That's
anything? I know. It's like when I'm working AI and working hospital AI, I was just like, okay, don't even mention AI. Can you just have like Google Drive?
right.
Yeah. Okay. But jokes aside, we have many healthcare clients, and then a lot of things we're trying to make the healthcare system a little bit more efficient. So, for example, let's say the doctors take a lot of notes during the visits and have to take time to put it into a visit summary or health summary after the surgery or after the visit for the patient. That wastes a lot of time on the doctor side. So we try to use AI to streamline that. And then from the patient perspective, I think there's more like revenue generating. So when patient is navigating through the healthcare system, so in the US, we always have to start with primary care, and you get a doctor referral, and you refer to a specific specialization department, and you navigate there to find a doctor, and then you get a lab, and then the lab have to circle back to your doctor, and maybe in between you feel a new symptom, and you really need to communicate with the doctor. So all this process is very time consuming and sometimes not efficient and bring a lot of frustration to the patient. So we try to do a lot of work in this like whole cycle, like how can we make the patient experience better? How can we have AI answer some of the basic questions with caution? Because it's healthcare, so everything has with caution, and then really put the staff and the doctor's time into the really things that matters to create a better experience for the patient. Therefore, they will be more comfortable. Therefore, it could be long term. They will be coming back to our hospital for further other things.
Got it. Got it. And as someone with aging parents who are trying to wrestle with the US healthcare system, I can completely relate. Folks, we're talking with Eva Dong about how Google Cloud's platform is supporting businesses and AI agents. And I've got so many more questions for her that you're not going to miss. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. This episode of AI for Business Leaders, the AI Hat podcast, is brought to you by Magi. Tired of juggling multiple AI subscriptions and trying to figure out which tool to use and when? Magi simplifies AI for businesses by offering access to all the leading language models and image and video generators for one low price. With Magi, you can create custom instructions to personalize AI for every business need and use them across all LLMs, including ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and even DeepSeek. No more building custom GPTs or gems that are limited to just one platform. Magi also lets you create customized workspaces for your entire team, giving everyone in your organization access to the same AI assistants and tools and prompts. Ready to streamline your AI workflow and empower your team? Tap the link in the show notes to visit Magi today to learn more. And now, back to the rest of today's episode. So we were joking before we started recording that businesses who haven't yet started using AI today, those are probably few and far between. But for businesses maybe haven't started using AI agents, that's probably more common, I think. And we're talking about major corporations who probably invested a lot of money and time and resources into developing systems like Wendy's and so on. For some of the smaller businesses who are probably just getting into AI agents, maybe they're not familiar with Vertex and they want to get started. What do you think their fastest path forward should be, whether it's for generating ROI or at least building in more efficiencies in the organization?
Yeah. I think 3 suggestions from me. I think the first one is always start with a very clear and impact-driven use case. So for small businesses, you probably look at like the enterprises like, oh my God, they have this. Oh my God, they have that. That's cool. But for a small business, when you have like limited budget, you really have to put things like most needed. So maybe like you are like a small business and you want to put all your AI power on marketing because you really need to expand your customer base and do more customer acquisition. Or maybe let's say you are like a tax boutiques, like just help business and human beings like do tax. Is almost tax season. So maybe you want to focus on, okay, how can I make my job easier when I'm doing tax for my customers? So like just pick one use case to start and start with a clear agenda and start with the impact in your mind. Like think about it for yourself. Okay, if I'm going to spend this money and time and energy to get this AI implemented in my business, what am I expecting? Am I expecting 30% more customers? Am I expecting 30% time me saving to do the work? So have very clear expectation and then translate that into a dollar sign. Let's say, oh, if I can have 30% more customers in 1 year, that will mean like, I don't know, like $20,000 more income for me. So have that target in your mind and build that estimation, build that roadmap for yourself. The secondly, I think it's very easy to leverage existing tools and platforms nowadays. There's a lot of like companies provide that kind of platform for you. So you never have to start from scratch. So Google, we talked about, we have all kinds of like Vertex AI suite. So go into AI Studio and take a look for yourself, see whether it's good for you. And then even easier ones, I've seen business build like custom GPTs, which are even like easier to build for small businesses, and can just use your custom GPT to do things for you. So never start from scratch. Always leverage what other people have built for you. And lastly will be focus on data, because every business is a little bit different and you definitely want to show your personality to your own business, regardless whether it's you're doing marketing to attract more customers, or maybe it is you're trying to like deal with your tax specific questions and workload. So pay attention to which tool you're using, what data is trained on, and if you're gonna provide your own data train a little bit further. So we're talking about like Mike actually has like AI agent for himself, like his assistant. So you have to train your assistant, provide your data. So make sure that data is like very, very quality data and you get enough data to train that, because you don't want to just provide generic output in any use, because Gen AI is so cheap nowadays, you just only need to pay $20. And also you don't need to pay. Like like Gemini has a free version. It's even free just to generate tons of content. Because of that, having good quality content is getting more and more important. So always focus on the data, focus on the input, focus on the training to get your quality output.
Could not agree more. You're right. I've got my AI chief of staff. That's my AI assistant that I've trained on my voice, my target audience, but also my core business information, who I am, what I do, the channels that I have, my goals for the coming year. So it knows everything about me. So I can turn to that any time of day and have a very strategic conversation about whatever question I might have, whether it's a marketing campaign or a business decision. That's set up in Gemini as a gem, which is for folks who are listening, maybe not as familiar. That's Gemini's version of a custom GPT. It's a set of custom instructions. It works and operates exactly like ChatGPT. So you're not limited necessarily to ChatGPT for using that kind of functionality. I also mentioned Magi in the ad a moment ago. Magi has personas, which operate exactly the same way, which allow me to use whatever LLM I want with whatever persona I want. And I strongly recommend that you guys, if you're listening, if you haven't played with custom instructions, do it. I've got a couple different resources I'll link to in the show notes that you can check out and get yourself up to speed on that, because that really is taking your AI usage to the next level, and it's going to help you in your business immeasurably. I'm wondering, Eva, how you see all this playing out over the next 12 to 24 months. I always joke that Claude helps me write a lot of these questions for these interviews. And Claude is always wanting me to ask folks how they see AI in 5 years. I'm like, Claude, that is ridiculous. Nobody knows where this is going in 5 years. Even the experts like Suleiman and Demis Hassabis, they're always refining and revising their estimations to be faster and faster. They think we're going to hit AGI or ASI in the next couple of years. But when it comes to AI monetization, What are you seeing just within the next few months and years?
Yeah. I see it becoming more and more important and more top of mind for everybody for sure. As you said, like AI development is like so huge. Not to say 5 years. We can't even think about 6 months, right?
Yeah.
6 months is even hard. So, but I think for sure monetization will become more and more important. With this like fast-paced technology, people will just have higher expectation. Oh my God, the technology is great. What does it mean for me? What does it mean for my business? So I think everybody will be thinking about it. And maybe that will also bring more jobs to this type of positions across all kinds of industries. And then secondly, we always talk about like before we always talk about SaaS, right? Software as a service. So right now as have like a new thing called AI as a service. So I think because AI is getting so cheap, so accessible and so common, there will be a lot of like platforms offer AI as a service to people, just so like you can just have this tool and then you input this and then you can have your AI agent, or you just have that and you put this two together and you just have another thing. So I think things will be like so easy for us. It's just like as easy as like you go to Android Play Store, or you go to Apple Store and you download this app and you start using this app. For us, it's like that just like super normal, super easy. Maybe in the future, just like building an AI agent, having your personal AI agent will be so easy for everybody, regardless whether you have any technology knowledge or experience. So that could be another thing. And I also think just looking at things more internationally for a second. So I know this episode will be aired a little bit later, but as we can see, the international market is becoming more and more active. We heard about DeepSeek from China, and there will only be more and more AI models from China from going on. And then besides China, there's many developing countries with lots of talent, like Brazil, for example, South Africa, for example. All these countries are trying to produce their version. And then as AI get more and more democratized, the world will have more emerging markets with more innovations. So AI is no longer a thing like US, will just hold it to itself. So I think as the entire world is developing AI monetization will also become a global thing for everybody to think about. How do I bring value to myself, my enterprise, my country, and eventually like my world, my earth.
That is such a great point. In fact, you're right. We're recording this the first week of February, and it was within the last week that not only did DeepSeek come out, but friend and former guest of the show, Chris Penn, did an entire video about the current global state of AI development to help illustrate what you're saying right now, which is that it's not just US, it's certainly not US versus China. There's so many other labs around the world that are developing really, really interesting, either full-blown large language models or AI solutions. Mistral out of Paris, France is another such example. So I'll link to that in the show notes below if folks you want to look at that. I had to laugh. I had to keep myself from laughing out loud because you talked about SaaS versus AI as a service. I think we need a better name. Again, AI as a service, because you can't pronounce it the same way you do SaaS. That's not going to sound right to our American friends. But I'm so glad you brought up jobs, because I've talked a little bit, not on the show per se, but in other episodes and locations. The World Economic Forum released a report in January this year, and they said that due to AI, 92 million jobs are going to be lost or displaced. But then they went on to explain that by 2030, they estimate 170 million jobs will be needed, which means a net increase of 78 million jobs created or changed. And it's interesting because you are the example of that. This role that you're in today did not exist, would not have existed without AI. And I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts about the state of jobs and where people should be thinking about when it comes to employment and their jobs and their careers and their future.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is a very hot topic for sure, and probably top of mind for many people. So AI will replace some jobs for sure, but it will also bring new jobs, like my job and my sister team at Google and many other organizations. So I think as an individual, as a professional, like as a person who need to make money for their family, I think you need to think about how can you stay ahead of the curve. So AI will only replace like the basic right? So one angle is like only AI will only replace the basic. So a coding AI agent might replace a junior software engineer, but the best software engineer will never be replaced by anybody because this person has domain knowledge. He can communicate with executives. He knows end to end how this infrastructure should work, how this code should flow, how this piece is interacted with like other different pieces in the organization. So that person's job will never be replaced by AI. So if you're top of your field, regardless what it is coding, is fashion, is marketing, is anything, like you won't be replaced. So one way to think about it is like, if I'm the best of my industry, I won't be replaced by AI. And secondly, that most people are not best of their field. We're just ordinary people doing our ordinary things. So maybe you can think about how can I reposition it or pivot it to an angle that so that I will be growing with AI instead of like replaced by AI. So for example, Mike is doing AI podcast. I think that's a great way with you doing AI literacy, educating more people. That's like growing with AI. I'm doing AI monetization, which is like trying to like help my customers with this AI and with AI impact. That's another job. That's another work. So think about in this lens, like within my current capabilities and within my current experience, how can I grow with AI together? Is it to help other people to learn about AI? Is it to help with AI? Is it like to help AI to impact my customers? So think from this angle. I think the majority of the new jobs will be created in the second category.
Love it. I appreciate that insight. I've got just one more question for you, Eva. I'm wondering if you could share in the moments we have left, just what's one piece of advice that you would give the listeners today who are wrapping their brains around not only how they can leverage AI, but how they can actually monetize it and impact their bottom line? What would be your advice to them?
Yeah. I think it's to circle back to my previous answer, just have one and only one high impact, clear use case. So think about what is your biggest roadblock. Think about what do you need the most and just have one use case. If you're a small business, just start with one with your limited resource and with your limited energy. Have that plan, make an estimate, build a future for yourself. Like, what does success look like for me? And how much the success will cost me today to get there? So answer these two questions and then build a roadmap for yourself and just work on this one use case. Things may or may not work like perfectly in the beginning. That's totally normal. Just keep improving on it, keep working on it until you see, okay, this is bringing me more customers. Oh, this is bringing me more revenue. So always have that goal. Don't just say, oh, I want to use AI because everybody else is using AI. You should always say, I want to use AI because I want to grow my customer base by 30% and I want to make $20,000 more tomorrow.
Fantastic advice. Thank you so much, Eva. You are always amazing and an absolute delight to catch up with. I appreciate that. For folks, though, who want to learn more, if they've got more questions for you, where should they go to reach out?
Yeah. So I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. You can search me, Eva Dong. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. Feel free to like connect with me, message with me. I have a newsletter, which I need to do a better job. I'm trying to keep up with it called Smart AI Marketing. So I produce some of the content to help like not like super advanced AI people, but more like day-to-day people. How do you use AI to benefit you in marketing, in business, in your life? And then I'm trying to be more active on X, Eva Dong 1010 on X, trying to build a little bit more connections there. So feel free to follow me and interact with me too.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Eva. We'll have all her links in the show notes below. Thanks to all of you for listening. That's all the time we've got for today, friends. But remember, if this is your first foray into the world of AI and business, I've got that perfect resource for you in the show notes below, the AI Primer, designed to quickly get you up to speed on the terms, the tactics, and the underlying technology that's powering this AI revolution. Check it out, and I'll see you in our next episode. Welcome to the Grid. That's a wrap on another episode of the AI Hat Podcast. I hope you gained some valuable insights and actionable strategies to boost your business with AI. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your network. And don't forget to visit theaihat.com for more resources and to connect with me. Until next time, keep innovating and remember, the future of business is human and it's powered by AI.